So today, I want to tell you about a really powerful old fable. It's about a poor woodcutter and, of all things, a dying animal he buys with his very last coins. It's a story that really makes you think about how our biggest blessings can show up in the most unexpected ways, asking us to take a second look at the things we might just write off as worthless. And this right here, this quote, is really the heart of the whole story. It perfectly sets the stage for a pretty incredible lesson in faith and how sometimes the help we need comes from the places we'd least expect. Okay, so let's dive in. I want you to meet our main character, a man named Chacha Zaran. He's an old man, living in a rundown little hut, and honestly, his life is just a daily grind against poverty and being all alone. You know, there was a time when Zarin was a strong woodcutter, a man who could handle the forest. But as you can see, time, well, it hasn't been kind. Now, all he's got left is a rusty old axe, a frayed rope, and a body that aches just thinking about lifting heavy logs. Every line on his face really tells a story of that struggle. So one night, things get really bad. The pain in his back is just unbearable, and Zarin hits his breaking point. He knows he just can't do it alone anymore. So he digs up his life savings, which is just a small pouch with a few copper and silver coins, and decides he's going to buy an animal. Any animal, really. Just something to help him carry the load. All right, so this brings us to the next chapter of his journey, the animal market. And let me tell you, with his few coins clutched in his hand, Zaharan steps into a world that is just loud, overwhelming, and, as he's about to find out, not very friendly. I mean, you can almost picture it, can't you? The air is just thick with the sound of merchants yelling and donkeys braying, and the smell, yeah. But for Zahran, the worst part is the way people look at him. These wealthy traders with their fancy rings, they just look right through him. They dismissed him before he even gets a chance to speak. He's just about to give up and leave, completely dejected. And that's when he sees him. Tucked away in a forgotten corner is this pathetic-looking donkey. It's so thin you can see its ribs, it's lame in one leg, and its eyes just look like they've given up on everything. It is, without a doubt, the one animal that nobody else wants. So Zarin walks up to the owner, and the guy just laughs at the idea of even selling it. His response is just brutal. He says he was about to kill the animal for dog food anyway, so he'll take whatever Zarin has. And without even hesitating, Zarin hands over every single coin he saved his entire life. And of course, the other merchants, they gather around just howling with laughter. They're pointing and jeering, calling him a fool for buying what they call a walking corpse. But Zaran, he just takes it all in silence, grabs the donkey's rope, and starts to walk away. Okay, now hold on, because this is where the story gets, well, weird. On the way home, Zarin tries to lead the donkey down the road he knows, the safe road back to his village. But the donkey, it just plants its feet and refuses to budge. See, this donkey has other plans. When they get to a fork in the road, it stubbornly starts pulling him towards this narrow, rocky path. And this isn't just any path, it's infamous. It's the kind of place people tell scary stories about, a place supposedly haunted by monsters, where people go in but never come out. Zahra knows he shouldn't, but what else can he do? He follows, and the journey is absolute agony for him. The sharp rocks are tearing up his old shoes, thorns are ripping his clothes and his skin. But the crazy part, the lame donkey is moving with this strange, unnatural speed, like it knows every single rock and turn. And then it happens. Zahran slips. He goes down hard, and a sharp rock slices right into his foot. He cries out, just collapsing in pain and total despair. He's convinced this is it. He's cursing himself, thinking the very animal he bought to save his life has actually led him to his grave. But the journey isn't over, not yet. As Zaran is lying there on the ground, bleeding and feeling totally hopeless, the donkey stops. It turns and looks back at him, almost as if it's saying, "Get up, we're almost there." So you have to ask, right? Is this it? I mean, all signs point to yes. He's hurt, he's lost on this forbidden path, and he's with an animal that seems completely useless. It really feels like the end of the line. So he drags himself forward, just inch by inch, following the donkey until it stops dead in front of a sheer wall of rock. And then the animal does something no one would expect. It starts kicking and tearing at this thick wall of thorns at the bottom of the mountain. And behind them, it reveals a narrow, hidden crack in the rock. Zehran is confused, but he's curious, so he crawls through this tiny fissure. He comes out the other side into this small, hidden cavern, and what he sees just stops his breath. There's only one word for it: gold. I mean, can you imagine? He's stumbled into a secret valley, a hidden treasure trove. Everywhere he looks, thick veins of pure gold are just running through the rock walls, and the ground is covered in gold nuggets like they're just pebbles. The lame donkey led him to a fortune bigger than he could have ever dreamed of, and all Zoran can do is fall to his knees and pray. So what does he do? He loads up 2 huge sacks with as much gold as that little donkey can carry, throws some twigs on top to hide it, and starts the journey back. And the next morning, he walks right back into the very same market where everyone had humiliated him. And guess who's there? The same merchants. The second they see him with that same lame donkey, the insults start all over again. They're laughing, figuring he couldn't even manage to find a few sticks to sell. Zarin walks right up to the merchant who mocked him the most. And just then, the donkey gives a little shake to get a fly off its back. The old sacks just can't take the weight of what's inside. A seam rips open, and with this heavy, clattering sound, nuggets of pure gold spill out all over the ground. You could hear a pin drop. The entire market goes silent. A massive pile of gold worth more than everything in that square combined is just sitting there at the merchant's feet. And in that one moment, all the mockery just turns into stunned, wide-eyed disbelief. The power has completely and totally shifted. But you see, this moment wasn't just about a poor man getting rich. Not at all. It was about revealing the story's real lesson, which Zaharan is about to demonstrate not with his words, but with his actions. Zoran shows them his true character was never about money. He doesn't hoard the wealth. He buys all the merchants' goods and just gives them away to the poor. He builds homes for people who need them, and he gives that lame donkey a place of honor for the rest of its days. And those greedy merchants who tried to follow him to find the treasure, their own greed led them into the wilderness, and they were never seen again. And so this whole fable leaves us with this final, really powerful question to think about. The story is telling us that blessings often come disguised as burdens. It asks us, where in our own lives might a lame donkey be waiting? What are we overlooking? You know, that opportunity, that person, or that idea that seems weak or worthless, but might just be the very thing that leads us to our own hidden valley of gold.